Hey, what's happening? Before we jump into the show, I wanted to see if you had any music on a hard drive. You have a band, you have a project, and you want to self-release your own music. Well, there's an easy way to do it. You can go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate and go get your music up on all the streamers. You keep 100% of your royalties, and you can get 30% off by using this code. It's a great, easy way to get your music up on the streamers and share it with your fans, your friends, your family, your mom, your dog, everybody. Everyone wants to hear it. But go to distrokid.com/VIP/hyphenate, HYPHENATE, and send me the link. I want to hear it too. Send your mom the link. Send your dog the link. They all want to hear it too. Welcome to Hyphenate Halftime, everybody. This is our show for Monday, August 24th. I'm your host, Randy Randall, and joining me, as always, on these halftime excursions is my co-host, Mr. Aaron Farley. How do you do, Mr. Aaron Farley?
Whoa! We don't need your war. I've been listening to the Judgment Night soundtrack.
Oh my God, Judgment Night.
I got psyched right before I got
He's just
in here.
another victim.
Listening to
just another victim, kid.
Slayer and Ice-T.
Oh right, yeah.
That's a good song.
That's one of the better ones.
Yeah.
There are some hits and misses.
There's a couple clunkers.
Yeah. But I think I think Del the Funky Homospaien and Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll get into it at the end of the show. That's a tease for our ongoing what are we calling the saga? I don't know.
Judgment Night. I don't know. That's Onyx and Biohazard though.
Oh my God, it's so good. But we should kick off with last week's interview with Jacob Rubeck of Surf Curse and Gap Girls and so many more. Had you heard Surf Curse through your experience? Probably not you personally, but through your children or TikTok, or do they know about this band? Oh, okay.
I didn't, and I was like, and I didn't know anything, and maybe I didn't listen to your intro. I think I listened to part of your intro where you were like, where you were saying, yeah, this band. And then we knew each other a little bit. And so then I quickly was just like, okay, I want to listen to the band first. And I was,
cool.
And went to listen to the band. And, you think like you're interviewing this band, like it was going to be like, oh yeah, here's a band. I'm like, 1.7 billion listens. Wait, who is this person? I have no clue who this person is.
Right.
Hey, and also it's like, this is kind of my time frame. Like, why don't I know this band at all? And then when I listened to it, I'm like, yeah, right. It sounds like No Age and Waves and like that whole,
but
like
far more successul than any other band.
And but it's, you can hear where it, obviously this is before I listened to the interview, and I was like, yeah, how did I miss this? And then looking at the song that didn't have as many listens, and it's 580 million or whatever, and that's only on Spotify, right? That's like not even on whatever YouTube and everything else.
Insane.
But then we were just getting ready. It was like the day that we were taking.
You had a big
Lila
weekend
to college. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we're taking our oldest daughter to college. We took her to college on Friday, San Diego.
I want to talk all about that, but we'll get the story. Then I want to come back to this. Yeah.
But then I was like, "Have you guys heard this band Surf Curse?" And they're like, "It sounds kind of familiar." And then I put on the disco song, and they both knew the dance. They were like, "Oh, that's the like arm, like," and then dance back and forth. And I was like, "Oh man, this is so weird."
Not only do you know the song, you know the dance that goes along.
Yeah,
with
they
it,
knew it. They're like, "Oh, I know this song. Of course, everybody knows this song."
Come on.
Wait, you've never heard this? Wait, what? What do you mean? How have you never heard? I'm like, all right. Listen.
Could you imagine though? I mean, think about like, Sabertooth Tiger. Think about all the bands you played with. Think about,
I'm planning.
Everybody you met. Think about, all these funny things. And then fast forward,
11 years.
Yeah. 10 years, 15 years. And wait, that band is one of the most popular bands in the world. And no shade against them. It was just, we played with a lot of bands. We talked to a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, you know what I mean, that exist in the world, and you know, just pick a random band you played with on a random night, and they're a good band. That's not the thing, you know what I mean? Like the underground is continuing to be filled with great bands, you know what I mean?
Totally.
It's not that it was ever about meritocracy or talent, you know what I mean? There's so many great bands.
Yeah.
And we've been part of a world, you know, where you see great bands, hear great bands all the time. And then, you know, but it's also, what's so funny is they can be so big, but also so unknown in that kind of way. Like, do you know this band's name? Like, maybe, that song, it's a dance and a thing. And it's just, it's changed things. You would think something that mass popular would be Nirvana, would be playing, you know, stadiums and things. But there's a strange way in which bands and culture is promoted, yet siloed or hidden is at the same time. It's not like, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's a diversified kind of thing.
100%. Because I feel like in the past, if a band was that big, you know, like, I mean, you look now at songs, you know, and you're like, okay, this song has 1.7 billion or whatever. But then I was listening to a Kendrick Lamar song today, and then I looked at his list, and his top song has like 3 whatever billion, and then like 10 of his songs have over, you know, so the billion marker is now like, oh, that's a hit, I guess, maybe, I don't know. I mean, that Beach House, like their biggest song has over like 2 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think like it was kind of a big song before, but then it's perfect for TikTok. It's perfect for like a vibey reel or whatever, you know, I think, I don't know. Or Blonde Redhead, that Blonde Redhead song had like their main like, that song.
The one that was used in the credits of Rick and Morty. There was like a weird random, like almost instrumental part to the end of a record they put out in 1999. It's the weird melody of certain Damaged Lemons. I mean, that whole record is really good. It's a really rocking, fucked up, noisy, cacophonous, discordant, kind of cool record. And then they had this weird little piano piece at the end of the record. It was just kind of like a coda. But that becomes the biggest song ever because it was in the credits of Rick and Morty amongst whatever.
But it also became like, so I heard Lila playing that song like 5 years ago. She was just playing it on a playlist, and I'm like, why are you playing Blonde Redhead? She's like, you know who this band is? And I'm like, I searched for this record for 3 years once when I heard one person play it at a party, and they had a 7-inch. They had a 7-inch of Blonde Redhead, and I was like, what's this band? And they said Blonde Redhead, and it stuck in my head.
From the melody of certain Damaged Lemons? Or
no, this would have been like 1996, maybe. I don't know. So whatever it was, but just the band stuck in my head.
Of course.
So forever I was like, well, I'm going to go to, they must be a huge band. I'm going to go to the whatever, like whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But not even Tower, but whatever it was, Borders Books or whatever.
You have to find out Smells Like
in
Records.
Spokane.
Steve Shelley's, you know.
Yeah, totally.
DIY thing. Yeah.
Totally. And for years and years until I got to Portland, and then like 1998 went to.
They're probably on touch. They're in touch.
Not 4,000 Holes, but what's the record store in Portland? The big one right there. Oh my God. Anyway, I went there and I was like, have you heard of this band Blonde Redhead? And he looks at me like, what do you think? I'm a fucking idiot?
Of course, this is Portland, goddammit.
There's a whole section for. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Joe Preston from Thrones comes in, it's like shops here. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about? Everybody knows who this is.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're wearing a flannel and a beanie, so we're going to give it it's okay. It's okay, all right? But listen, buddy. Listen.
Yeah, you're not in Spokane anymore. This is PDX, brother.
It would have been more like, seriously? Like, it's not New York, right? Yeah. Like in New York, it'd be like, fuck you, get out of here. No. Listen here, buddy. There's
far too much heroin going around the Northeast at that time for anyone to get upset about anybody.
Yeah. Well, what? Yeah, of course, man. Yeah.
Coffee was not popular in the 90s, despite all the shows.
Seriously, man. Blonde Red is sick. But you know, I was like, yeah, of course. There's like your mom and I used to listen to that whole record on repeat on road trips for years. That was the CD that was in the car for road trips.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's so weird. But you look at that song now and it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of plays.
Good for them.
It's a great song. It's awesome.
Yeah, sure.
But so I'm just bringing this up to say, like, I'm looking right now at Nirvana plays.
Oh.
Right. And like arguably Nirvana among young people, probably one of the most popular bands.
Probably one of the most popular T-shirts. I was just going to say. I don't know if it's a popular band. If anyone's listening to it,
for T-shirts, but also people know that they're a band. Like it's not just a, you know, like they know a song. They I know.
I'll go on K-Rock and they still play "Come As You Are" at least, you know,
kids
2
are not
times an
listening
hour.
to K-Rock though.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But no, but they know that they know it's a band. They know it smells like Teen Spirit. They know those. And Heart Shaped Box has 1.1 billion.
Wow.
So Freaks has more plays on Spotify than Heart Shaped Box, which is amazing, right? But it shows shows like. It's on playlists. I'm sure it's on every single party playlist. It's probably on every college playlist. And it's a certified banger. That's good. That's great. It moves along. I was listening to it and I was like, yeah. I don't know like what makes it definitely like super, like so different that it became like a sensation or whatever. But then, you know, it's probably like, it's all that stuff. It's like the preparation, and then the luck gets thrown in, and it's just the like one person made an amazing video that had it in
choreographer.
there.
You know, that's the vibe.
But it could also be. It's like when a song gets used for a movie, and it's the perfect part in the perfect Paul Thomas Anderson movie. That's and it rockets like a Nick Drake song to the moon, and no one had ever heard of him since like 1971, you know?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he becomes like the biggest, like, oh my God, have you heard Nick Drake? Everybody needs to know Nick Drake, you know? Or that was that was a Volkswagen commercial.
I remember this. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
it was my college
like,
years. Yeah.
Yeah. And nobody, unless you're a music person, which I was even a music person, I never heard Nick Drake.
Sure.
And that was, like, what's the Volkswagen song? It was just the Volkswagen song, right?
Yeah, the Pink Moon.
So, and now that I'm sure just because it was used in that one ad, it became so popular because people rediscovered it and went, "This is an unbelievable record."
Yeah,
you know. And then it's just whatever.
I mean, I can't help but have that feeling, you know what I mean, we've moved from silent movies to talking movies, you know what I mean, just culturally in that kind of way, where it was like there was records and physical media, and now there's no physical media, and it's digital and it's social, and music lives and is promoted and is heard and listened and shared and interacted with via TikTok. You know what I mean? But it's like, I'm over here being Charlie Chaplin running around with vinyl records and, you know, trying my best to keep up. But I'm just like, I don't think this is.
Hey, listen here, kids.
Do you know what I mean? But it just feels culturally in those kind of ways where you look back and like, what is our media, those like lines in the sand when like everything changed kind of feeling, you know, and not because it was necessarily from an artist, but from a distribution platform or technological advance or something, that kind of way where it's like black and white television to color TV to video cassette, you know, like there was a time, you know, like I always think about film history in this kind of way. I guess music happens in just the same kind of way, you know, but like, no one's buying sheet music anymore. They're all buying these little plastic discs.
Yeah, totally.
Like, but what do you mean? I sell a lot of sheet music. Like sheet music is my thing. I got all the latest, you know, Tin Pan Alley. I got the American, you know, the American songbook.
Standards.
Yeah. Like, no one's buying that. There's some kid in Memphis shaking his hips, you know, and he's selling a lot of records. You're like, what's a record? What do you mean, the disc or the cylinders? But the wax cylinders? No, they're not cylinders anymore. They're flat. Like,
you have to have a whole machine. You have to have a machine to play with. We're trying to sell guitars with this music.
Yeah,
you're selling some electronic machine through RCA. What's RCA?
Yeah, you know, I can't help but just be. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to be a Luddite or trying to be a caveman, but it's just, you know, just the nature of life and time and interests, you know. And it's so when you see something like that come through, you're like, oh, okay. Like, this is cool. I don't have a handle on it in the slightest.
Well, I think if you want your art to be paid for, you have, like we said last week, you have to be able to make other people money with your art. Right. It's just that's the only, if you're rich, awesome. Yeah. Just go do your art. You have the freedom. You can pay your rent. You can do all the thing. Or if you marry someone who's wealthy who wants to support you, like that works too. But again, that person has to love you enough to pay for it. So you got to do your work there too, right?
Like you got to do something. You got to value added.
It's not free. It's not free.
Yeah.
But I think that is the true thing that art drives innovation.
Sales.
It drives innovation, but at some point people have to make their money back. And I think, and this is why when a new neighborhood starts up in a city, and they want to
gentrify.
But what I mean is like you're taking like old factory buildings or sewing shops or whatever, and you want it to thrive. You put artists and coffee shops in for 5 years, and you give people
cultural
cheap rent.
Seating. Yeah,
you give galleries free rent for 3 years, which is what happened in like a lot of Boyle Heights or cheap rent, very cheap rent, prorated, whatever. And then after that 5 years, you go, okay, well now here's what you really pay. Like you were paying $1,000 a month before. Thanks for making my building super expensive. Now it's $10,000 a month. And then they all leave. And then like the, nice boutique moves in and fancy, like a really nice restaurant and whatever. But it's always the art that like drives, that gets people, it's the musicians that get people to congregate. It's the art and the music that starts the conversations, that gets people into spaces. And unfortunately, most of the time, the artists and the musicians don't own the buildings. And they don't own the record labels, and they don't own the galleries, because you can't do that and do art at the same time, because it's exhausting, both of them.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think though, in that what kind of way where like these, viral sensations or these bands, have a hit on TikTok or even Spotify numbers, like that makes $0 for the band. There's no money, like that makes money for people that own TikTok. That makes money for people that own Spotify. But the band themselves sees, fractions and fractions of a cent per play. So, what 1 billion plays is maybe $10,000, $20,000, $50,000.
Yeah.
Which isn't nothing. However, you think about 1 billion play, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
1 billion is a lot. Yeah.
It's just, it's unfathomable, but I think like, but they sell tickets, right? Bands can sell tickets. That's the thing they own. They can sell t-shirts. They can sell a ticket. Can't sell a record really in a CD or a tape maybe, but it's, but I'm looking, it's like, where's Blonde Redhead playing? just not to throw them under the bus, but I'm just curious, right? I mean, what their numbers are big, and they're playing the Observatory in Santa Ana and Bellwether in LA,
couple thousand
2,500 cap, maybe something like that.
Totally.
It's not 5,000, it's not 10,000.
It doesn't.
And those are big cities. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what does that mean? You know what I mean? This is they're streamed, and I guess it's also the kind of thing too. It's a global number, right? And I guess you can equate that to with global sales or something. But LA. Bellwether. But
also you have to tour, and touring doesn't, I think in the past, like the musicians really could make money off their catalog forever. If you were,
yes,
even if it's just a little, even if it's just a little bit of money as you go, but if you're a popular band and then you're re-releasing an album, or you're still selling, you're still printing the old ones or whatever, like that stuff, it's still, you can still get licensed for movies and all that. And now that is, I don't know, it's less and less. I mean, photography used to be the same thing. It was like you'd have all of this work, and then you would like, if you took the photo, remember the photo of the Maxell guy, and he's in the chair. Is that Maxell? He's in like the chair, and his
getting blown away.
He's getting blown back by the speaker. That was a photo that one photographer took and licensed to Maxell every single year.
Oh my God.
And I mean, as far as I remember the story, and again, allegedly, But that you know, they tried to buy him out, and he's like, no, it's good. I'll lower my rate a little bit, but every year. And then, you know, I'm sure they eventually just bought it out or something, but you know, you get paid for that stuff because they're using your rights to your art. Like, you're not giving away your rights. And, but the companies have been trying to destroy that forever. And I think now you'd still like the bigger things. If you still have a good rep, they'll get you a lot of that stuff. But you know, there's big things now called buyouts where they just buy out your whole shoot. And you know, it's a chunk of money at the beginning, but that chunk of money gets less and less because they know, like, okay, well, we've been doing 10 years of buyouts, and so now we go, oh no, we don't pay for usage anymore. We only do buyouts. So you have to agree to that to even bid on the job and stuff. You know, therein lies the rub.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm looking up I'm trying to run the numbers real quick for Blonde Redhead. 1,500 cap. And they're going $50, $55 a ticket. If at sellout, $75K is the pot. So you take maybe half of that, you know, to venue and cost and everything, and so you're at 3,500 or 35,000.
35,000.
That's not bad for a night. That's nothing.
That's not bad if you're touring. You only there's 3 of you. 2 of you are brothers, so you're probably. So they're probably splitting that, putting that in the family pot, maybe.
I mean, right? Yeah. So say 30. Yeah. So that each member gets $10,000 for the night, ish.
Yeah. You do 10 shows, $100,000.
Cost of the tour they'll put it together. If they got a bus, they got techs, they got hotels.
They could be driving in a Kia Sorento with a little.
That would help.
Yeah, that would help. I mean, these days, like little amps.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like a little jazz kit, like the one behind you, I think. You know, it's like... Say
worst case scenario, they could be making at least 20 pocketing, and then because you got taxes and agents and managers and all those other things. So
booking agents.
The band might put $20K in their pocket that night.
Yeah.
You know, off all that. So again, I'm not sneezing at that money. That sounds like a lovely way to make an easy living, right? But again, billions of streams.
Yeah.
And not a record's, you know, sold.
And you know what's crazy? This is what I always think is crazy off the Spotify stuff.
Yeah.
Is that, or not Spotify, but off like TikTok and Instagram, is that like Vans or, you know, a brand will do like a post selling a shoe, like, hey, we got a new shoe, da 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 da, and they just use they use music. And I'm always curious if that, like, does the artist get like a streaming service, a streaming fee from that? You know, like because before, like if your band used, like if a Nike came to you and was like, hey, could we use one of your songs in a little Nike ad we're running? You'd charge them money. Like you'd have a little contract, you charge them money. But now they could just pull a No Age song off of
for
just like a post. How does that work? Because I mean, they're always putting like, I mean, just even say it's like some new person doing like a post for their little business, you know, and they're like, hey, I'm using, and then they use Blonde Redhead or whatever. Is like, there's no one stopping me. Like mine technically is a Aaron Farley photography business, and I use songs all the time to show my work. And, you know, you only can pick the songs that are there, you know, but maybe like, are those bands getting like 4 cents a play on my thing?
No, there's no money paid out from Instagram.
So like you're getting the free, you're getting the advertising. Anyway, I don't want to bum this out because their band, the band is actually great.
I know. Yeah.
I don't want to get so
the
like dystopian.
Old men shaking our fists at the clouds.
Listen, good for them, but man, the world sure is screwed up. No. Yeah, but I know. But it is a weird world. It's weird that it flipped.
Yeah.
And it definitely flipped, right? Like to where like in the 90s, even the early 2000s, the artists still were in control of, like you have a contract, whether you signed a good contract or a bad contract. That's that's a whole different thing.
Sure.
But you did have like, so when someone wanted to use your music for something, there would be a fee, and that fee would go through a manager and whatever. There's all these people getting cuts of it, but at least there was kind of something. Whereas now, like I look at that all the time and I'm like, yeah, I'm watching an ad, like, and it literally says it's an ad. It's like a paid advertisement, and it has like whatever the big TikTok song at the time is. And I'm always like, I don't know, maybe if it's a paid ad, maybe they get a streaming, like a couple pennies per stream or something. Well, but I can imagine.
I think this is the dark side of this media revolution, this digital streaming media revolution. Is it's and this goes for media like ads and TV shows, and because it's a streaming show now, not a broadcast show,
right? Or
it's a streaming movie and not a theatrical film. All of the contract norms and sort of precedent is reset and
right.
Renegotiate, or not even renegotiate. It's just here's what we're offering you $4,000 for a song. You're like, well, how many is that good? Is that bad? And they're like, well, we streaming doesn't really have numbers. We don't know who watches it. We don't tell you who watches it. Yeah, exactly. So we can do whatever we want to do, and we can say, and there's no royalties because it's just played on demand on the thing. It's not like it's going out on broadcast.
And it's going to be on the internet forever. So how could we ever pay all of that money? This might come up 10 years from now, and we don't even own it.
Negotiation. So,
I mean, I remember
it's a full fleece is really what this, the digital streaming revolution in terms of artists and creatives. It was an excuse to, it's being, and because you wonder, like, how could they make any money on these streaming shows? You don't even, and it's like, because they're not paying anybody anything. They've like greatly reduced all fees to all talent and all workers and all people, and this is what a lot of the strikes were about, because it's like, oh, we're just a little streaming, like, you're fucking Netflix. You're one of the, you know what I mean? You undercut everything. It's like when Blockbuster came in and just destroyed the mom and pop video stores, and then Netflix came in and destroyed Blockbuster. And it's just like, you guys, this is a race to the bottom. And now they're making your own content for pennies on the dollar and not paying royalties and not paying anything. And then you're going to sell ads, and you're selling a monthly subscription plan. So we're paying $25 a month when we get ads. And you don't pay the people who make these things a livable wage, and you don't pay, you know what I mean? You license songs, and it's all just for nothing, and it's for promotion and good luck. And you're like, this isn't.
I know. And destroying the art and the artists destroys your country. Like, there is not, you don't have a country if you don't have music and art.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no culture.
You don't have culture. You don't have a culture because there's no way to communicate other than like talking and being silent because you're scared that the police are going to kill you.
I guess, and maybe that's part of that. Maybe that's part of some kind of larger plan all along. But even the idea, and this like dovetails into everybody's favorite topic, like the rise of AI and all these things. And it's like, well, we don't have to pay anybody because we've trained a computer to rip off everything.
Yeah.
And so we just pay the computer to do everything. And you're like, but does this work if no one watches it? But as long as you're still paying the monthly fee, like, well, why are we paying the monthly fee for? Like, I don't watch it. But they haven't. All stuff's garbage. Like,
they don't realize that. I mean, they do. Whatever. They're just trying to. Everybody's. I mean, I do think that there is there are some people, like a small percentage of people, that really have horrible intentions, and that's kind of always. I think with humans, there's always if there's 10, there's always one that's like, I could take all these people over and have them work for me for the rest of my life, right? There's that 10%. But the majority of the other people are just like, I need to make enough money so that this horrible economy doesn't affect me. And they're just trying to do that. Like everybody, like when you hear all these new startups and stuff, you really hear this like, no, see, guys, the thing is, listen, this is going to make the world perfect in every way. Like, we're never going to have to work again. Like, how many people don't want to work, right? Like, you're going to be able to hang out, just be by the beach. Like, everybody's going to be by the beach. And these robots are just going to be like handing you margaritas all day. Like, well, I don't understand why you would ever think different, right? Like, this is what everything has always been. And then, and you go, Yeah, but you're destroying you're destroying art, you're destroying music, you're destroying art, music, and being able to own a home and like all the things that actually make people happy. And you're you're just taking that away from everybody. And okay, well, good luck with that. But anyway, Surf Curse is great.
The kids are going to be all right. They'll figure it out. The kids like it. You can do a dance to it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Maybe art doesn't have to run the whole economy. Maybe art can just be for fun.
Yep.
And we can all just go to shows, and we can eventually have some venues where everybody's just having a little drink, having a soda, watching some music, doing a little dance. It can just be like little bar shows. We don't need to watch shows in Dodger Stadium anymore. We just maybe we're just watching shows with a couple hundred people and local and
you mean 20
and
people?
Everybody's happy.
Yeah. You and 10 of your friends. Yeah. You go out to a bar and everybody's buy drinks and the
trading garments. They're trading garments on the way in and sewing each other's holes in their socks and
$5 haircuts.
Full barter system for we have a barter system for art and barters.
Barters.
Art and barters.
That sounds a little bit like The Smell. It's in that kind of way. So we wanted to talk. Years. I know, it's insane. Right? We said last week we wanted to talk about the PPM 50th, right?
Yes,
or not 50th. Geez, what am I saying?
So this is great. 25th. Hold on, let me do like a quick 1 minute. What I thought was amazing about the interview.
Oh, thanks.
That when did you realize that it was going to be such like a shine fest for you?
No.
So that was great. I loved it when you're like, oh wait, what? Oh, like at the beginning, you're like. Oh, I didn't see this coming. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. And then the fact that you guys both remembered all the stories. You're like, no, I remember talking to you when you were a kid outside the venue, and the fact that he had like traveled to L.A. from Vegas, and that The Smell was like his holy grail of like places he wanted to play, and he had just heard about it on the internet or seen pictures or whatever.
Yeah,
and that at for him and his buddies seeing you guys play, that they're like, we just want to be in a band and play at The Smell one day, which was amazing. And then that also for him to say that first record that they did was recorded at The Smell.
I didn't know that.
In
and I think that's one of those hit songs. Maybe it's not Fever or Disco, one of those Freaks. Yeah.
Was that was recorded in 2011, and that it didn't even become popular until 2019 or 2020. So that it was like a completely like it was a 10-year-old song almost. And that it was recorded at The Smell, and that it was recorded, that the impetus of that even happening was from him, watching you guys and being into you guys. I thought that was cool, but I thought it was really funny to hear you go through that.
You can hear me squirming. I try to be good.
And then,
I try to be good.
And then you were like, okay,
hard,
wait, this is like, I mean, obviously you were very gracious and you were like, oh, come on, that sucks. No, but it was funny hearing you hear that for the first time. You're like, oh. And you were like, oh,
guys, shut down. How do I gotta switch?
This feels weird.
I gotta switch brains here.
No, that was so cool though. It was so cool. And even like how knowledgeable he was about No Age and like the songs and the, whatever.
Yeah. It was nuts.
It was great. It was really cool. It was very cool to hear.
I'd never talk to people like that.
Yeah.
Not because I'm not trying to, because only because there's not a lot of people like that, that want to have those conversations. But it was incredibly humbling and sweet. And, but like I said, I mean, we talked about in the interview, but, my son came up because he heard the song on Fortnite. And I was like, I know the name of that band. And it's the kind of thing, again, you play with so many bands and I don't really keep up with what's going on. I thought I kept up, but apparently I don't keep up until I see, we played with those guys in Reno at an all ages space. And they were nice, but they were kind of fanny. And and at that moment you're kind of like, oh wait, hold on. I can't really, it's hard to have a conversation, especially when you're young and grinding it yourself. It's like to have somebody fan on you, and you're like, I'm having a hard day on my own here. This isn't necessarily this isn't my shining moment. We're playing to 50 people in a small space, which is great for us, but we're also we're working our asses off here, and this is kind of hard. And someone's like, we love you. Like, okay, I got to drive another 8 hours, and I'm sleeping in a Motel 6 tonight. Like, thanks. I love you too.
And you're like, but I don't love me.
I hope this works out for me. Yeah, I'm having a hard time.
It's hard watching you love me when I don't love me.
Yes,
this is
exactly.
Tough.
Yeah. And so, but it's really sweet, and so, but I really felt the full circle moment, when my son was digging on him, and
so cool.
Yeah. I mean,
I like that he liked the band that is references you as them. Like it's interesting that he found that band. And he's like, Dad, I think you would like this band. And you're like, well, that makes sense. Yep. You got me pegged.
I could hear something there. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
he's got the algorithm.
It's a funny world in that kind of way,
No, I thought that was awesome.
But it also goes to show too, I mean, music is so much more about just making music. There's all this other stuff around it. There's the business side of it. There's the right place at the right time. There's, kind of embracing or understanding even, trends and things like this and then just the random luck of two people making a funny dance video and that catching some kind of like computer wave that goes viral in that kind of way. Because how many songs have people done dumb dances for that don't catch on?
So many.
Yeah. I mean, imagine that's the majority of them. And then the ones that do at the right place in the right time, and put a pandemic in there, and you just who knows.
Yeah. Next thing you know, Kevin Bacon is dancing to your video. It's amazing. I love when he name checked Kevin Bacon. I'm like, oh, that's so perfect. So now you could do the 1 degree. You're 1 degree separated from Kevin Bacon officially. Wow, that's amazing. You hit it. Have you ever met Kevin Bacon?
Have I met Kevin? No, I don't think so.
So you're only 2. No. So you're 2 degrees. You're officially 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
I've met a couple.
That makes me 3 degrees from Kevin Bacon. That's amazing.
Yeah. I haven't done that to myself, but I'm sure it's not hard. There's been a few celebrities I've met. Of just meeting somebody. I guess we didn't really work with them, but anyway, that's hilarious.
It's so funny. But anyway, so now back to the smell, the PPM.
Oh yes. So but it's funny. Jacob actually came to the PPM 25th anniversary.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was funny. I was like, he's like, hey, and I just mailed him something, and I was like, oh, it's probably there now when you get home.
So you had interviewed him before, though?
Yes, I'd interviewed him before, and then he came out to see the Abe Vigoda reunion, which was sort of the headlining event of Saturday, the last night of the 3-night fest. Abe Vigoda did a reunion with Juan, who's a past guest, and Michael Vidal, who I've asked to be a guest, and he kind of was like, I don't know. So hopefully I'll get him on again. It'll be fun. And David and Marisa. And it's cool. It was great to see them. I mean, I saw so many Abe Vigoda shows at the Smell, and then we took them on tour in the U.S. and in Europe, and so I saw a lot of Abe Vigoda every night. Living on the road with them. And so it was cool to see them playing together again. And I don't know how many years it had been, maybe 10 years since they'd played, but that was kind of the big reunion sort of moment. But there were also so many other great bands that Dean booked. That he's put out on his label PPM. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Did Abe Vigoda come out on PPM?
I think so. Yeah, I think he did a handful of. I think he did 2 records, at least here in the States. Because again, I think they signed a 4AD for the world, but then we're on PPM for the States.
Okay,
or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they were able to get like 4AD kind of tour support money back then, and yeah, which is awesome. 4AD is an incredible label. Pixies were on 4AD.
Yeah, totally.
So that was, he put them out, and then Gun Outfit, who are a great band, and we'd played a bunch of shows with them. I didn't stay that late. I actually took my oldest son, Ryder, who liked Surf Course. I took him to the Smell on Friday, and he worked at the snack bar, which he's done a handful of times. He likes to be involved.
Totally.
And that was fun. And then Thursday, what did we do? I saw Muscle Beach on Friday. They're great. Jane Pike's band. I want to have her on the podcast, but yeah, her band Muscle Beach was awesome. And then Beatrix Fowler, whose artisan's bar. did kind of a reunion, but it's hard to a reunion as a solo act. But Bar had not performed for a long time, and so Bar has reemerged and is doing shows, which was really awesome.
Is it the same Bar, like the same type of songs, or is it like a different vibe?
It's well
played old songs as well.
B has transitioned. Yeah. And so the vibe is a little different in that, it's not the same kind of music, and but she did play, the song is the single in kind of a remixed sort of fashion stuff. So it's still kind of playing the hits in some ways. Yeah. So that was really fun to see. And then, Thursday we, Dean and I and our old friend Roy Tatum, we did a Wives reunion. So the Wives was our band before No Age. Dean and I started this band Wives in like 2000, and we put out a record in 2005 and a handful of 7-inches. And then on that tour in 2005, we switched drummers midway in the tour, and Roy filled in as the second drummer. And we did an American tour and a European tour with him. And we recorded another record called the Roy Tapes, which were sort of demos of things we were playing at the time. And so the last show we played with Roy was in 2005. So that was 21 years ago. Wow. And it was wild. It was so crazy. And so we played like 3 songs off of Erect the Youth Problem, which was our first full length. And then we played 3 songs off of the Roy Tapes, which is like, I guess, kind of the second EP we did.
Was that kind of a last minute thing, or did you know that you guys were going to do that?
I think Dean and Roy had been talking about it. I think Roy does a lot of graphic design for PPM in the years since. Mm-hmm. And so they keep in touch and talk a lot about music and stuff. And so I think they probably had thought about it. And then, Roy got tickets to fly out from Austin, and then they asked if I'd be down. I was like, sure. But we didn't practice till the day before, because Roy had just gotten out here. And so they kind of made a list of songs they would want to play. And so I listened through to stuff and it was very much like time traveling in your own body. Like, okay, what 25 years ago, how did I think, or 20 plus years ago, how, like, I hear the notes, and I'm like, I can play the notes, but I was like, who was the person that wrote this song? Like, I'm not that person anymore, but I can go through, I can like retrace my personality or like recreate my lack of skill or my like intermediate or beginner kind of like proficiency with the instrument, and be like, this is the way my brain would work then, is I'd do something like this. And so I'd play it in a way that, because I'd have to, because it's like not just the notes, it's how you're playing it, and like, what am I really doing? And some of the songs are very noisy,
like the pattern of everything.
Yeah, and try to just put myself in that headspace again. Like, how did I play these songs? how did I write these songs?
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun. But the big trick is, half the Wives set by the end was Dean on bass and singing, and then half the set he'd put the bass down, and I would take his bass cord and I'd plug in my guitar to his bass amp and my guitar amp. So I would do this kind of big thing, and then I would tune the low E string of the guitar down to an A. So I'd have like 2 A strings, but one's really low and flubby, and the other one's kind of like a normal taut thing. And so it created this real kind of real noisy sort of thing. Once I remembered that, I was like, okay, there's the kind of secret to the sound.
Wow, low A is crazy. So do you have a really, do you have a huge E string?
No.
Just is flopping around?
Just this, exactly. Yeah, I think that's the trick.
Does it sound like it's backwards or something?
Yes, exactly. With a really low.
Because I mean, like a low C is low enough as it is, but you're going all the way down to A.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. This is the time traveling sort of like thing of like, I think I did this. This is what I would have done, and like, oh yeah, sure enough, there it is. There's the sound, and really loud. Yeah.
So loud it doesn't really matter.
Really flubby and really, noisy and really loud. So that was like, okay, all right, I did that, and then
that's awesome.
We pulled it off. Yeah, so we had one practice the day before, and then we practiced once before we packed up and went out there. But it was a secret thing. We talked about, like, do we play early in the night? Do we play first? Do we play in the middle? Do we play last? And we decided on playing last, which meant we didn't go on till like 11:30, almost midnight.
Yeah,
and there was very few people left in the
still
venue.
Left. Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a very kind of like, okay.
And you didn't tell anybody that day, like, hey, stick around because Wives is playing.
I think Dean sent a picture, but again, we were never a popular band. It wasn't like it was I don't know. It was we just.
I actually remember when I went up when I had moved, because I moved to LA in 2000. Mm-hmm. And then, but I still have some friends in Portland, but I would go up every think I went up there probably 1 year later to hang out with my friend Richard. And I remember him going like, "Hey man, do you hear this band Wives? This is my favorite new band. This band's fucking rips."
Whoa. Yeah. No way. Oh, that's crazy.
And I was like, wait, I think I know one of those guys. I didn't know you at that time, but I knew Dean through Buddy and stuff. And I was like, I think I know one of the guys in that band. He's like, "What? No way. This band rips." And he like puts it on like super loud in his truck. Yeah, it's great. I always remember that.
Well, we recorded
I know some popular people.
Hey, we recorded that record in Portland with Jeremy Romagna from Johnny X and the Grodies. And he had a studio that he either owned or worked at called the Type Foundry that was in like a big like wooden warehouse kind of near the river in Portland. And he had a 2-inch tape machine, and
that's amazing.
We drove up there for a weekend and recorded, I don't know what it is, 10 songs, 11 songs in a weekend, and toured up there doing it, and then just hung out. It was awesome. It was one of my first like real like times being in a studio, and it just felt magical. And we like
especially being in Portland at that time, like in the 2000 or whatever, is like that's a good time to be up there.
Yeah, it was. I felt very lucky and very fortunate. It was like I'm living the dream and just crashing on couches and drinking hams or.
Oh my God, Rainier,
yeah. It was the best.
Rainier beer.
I was working at the Standard Hotel at the time. I was the mini bartender. I'd go around to people's rooms and service the mini bars. And I remember I stole like a brick of the really tiny, like expensive Johnny Walker, Blue Label or something. And so, because I think I'd quit the job to go record the record. And so I stole a bunch of little mini bottles of alcohol and just put them in my bag as I quit the job. And then I remember drinking those while we made that record. Really tiny, expensive bottles of beer or booze.
Just everyone you drank, you're like, it feels so good. You guys won't even understand this story.
I stocked these things for years, and I couldn't even afford to taste what was in there. Yeah, it was hilarious. And then I started working at Amoeba right after we recorded the record.
Nice.
So that was fun. But yeah, awesome. That was people. Fun. But I saw so many friends and so many people, and it's crazy. The smell's still going strong, and it's wild. Again, just time travel. Now I have a soon to be 13-year-old son who's there, and it was so funny seeing old friends. And they're like, he looks exactly like you. He looks more like you. The you I knew than you do now. Like I'm old and I'm old and fat and balding, and they're like, no, that you used to look like more like that guy. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's how it was 20 plus years ago, 25 years ago.
Amazing. How old were you the first time you went to the Smell?
So I was in high school. I was probably 17 when I went to the Old Smell when I was in North Hollywood to see Mike Watt.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's the only way I was able to palate any kind of like compliments to how Jacob was describing No Age and what that experience was like was for him, because it was the same experience for me seeing Mike Watt at the Smell. And I was like, I think telling my friend I was in a band with in high school, Kevin Mann, I was like, I think we could play the Smell. We could play that. Look, Mike Watt's doing this. And I loved Mike Watt from Minutemen and Firehose, and he did his Ball Hogger Tugboat record with all these like luminaries of the alt rock sort of scene, and so to see like Mike Watt, a real person, play solo at the Smell in this tiny little like storefront in North Hollywood, it just blew me away, and it made it seem possible. It kind of gave me that permission like to do it, and if he could do it, then I could. And so that was and I think I told Jacob even in that story, I was like, that was my Mike Watt moment where I literally was inspired by a person playing the Smell. And so to hear somebody say they saw me play and wanted to play the Smell, I was like, I know exactly what that's like. Yeah, that was amazing. Me. That was me when I was 16, 17. And then it moved to downtown. I remember going to see shows there. And again, it was intimidating, because it was weird and downtown was scary and the music was weird and people were weird and the music and everything was just weird, but it was really inspiring. And like, I could feel my future. I had that, it's a bit of a chicken or the egg, it's like, I could like, this feels right to me. And it felt like home in so many ways. And then I would make it that. It's that kind of feeling like, I want to be here. I want to be here as much as I could. And then, started volunteering and then sort of made it my life in so many ways at that time because I was in college and I was downtown at USC in college, and then I would like ride my bike up to the Smell and volunteer there. And it sort of felt like this was the real education, or this was more along the lines of what I wanted my life to be like, these like touring artists,
right,
independent, weird, experimental artists. So I was like getting a formal education and getting like a real world education at the same time. And obviously I was like committed to this kind of like Smell, arts, and experimental sort of touring life.
Yeah. I mean, that's why those inclusive spaces are so great. All ages, especially,
Totally. Yeah.
I mean, when you see, because it's everything. It's like skateboard tricks. It's like the reason why everything goes faster now is because everybody can see everybody doing things and going, wait, you can do that? Oh, wait, I'm going to try that. Yeah. Whereas before, the first people who started doing everything had to be like the most creative, crazy people, because they had to go like, what happens if I kick a hole in my speaker and then play it that way? And they're like, this sounds so distorted. Like, well, that's what we should call it. I guess we'll call it distortion. Yeah. It sounds grungy. Well, let's just call it grunge, I guess. Hey. But that's why, because you really can see someone do something and you go, oh, that's a feeling I had, but I never knew that it was possible to do a thing. Like that there was a thing, like I've been thinking about something, like I've missed something. And I'm like, and then you see someone jumping around with a guitar and yelling, and like they only played 2 chords the whole time, and you're like, yeah, you do whatever you want. Like, oh,
I could play 2 chords.
You could just do that?
I could jump around.
I mean, I remember even
2 goofball friends. We could do all this same thing.
Totally.
I have all the ingredients right here. Yeah,
totally. In college, I had some friends. My friend Bill, who was the one that like gave me all my music. When we were. Or like whatever, the pop punk to then like Jawbreaker to whatever. He always had all the new records. And but he also played in a band when we were in high school. We weren't great friends in high school, but then his high school band would play because we only went to college an hour and a half away. And so his high school, those guys would come up and they would play shows above the coffee shop. There's like a punk band. And then he got in and then started playing more in this band called Vic 20, which was like more like I thought of them as like so heavy and crazy. And then Mark, who was the singer of that band, just like he posted something on Facebook with one of the songs. I'm like, do you have those songs? He's like, oh yeah, man, I'll send them to you. And he sent me like whatever they recorded in like whoever's basement or whatever, or their friends. And I was like, oh yeah, these are kind of heavy, but this sounds like Sebado or something. like it's not as heavy as I remember, right? It's like
you weren't exposed to
Dinosaur Jr. or something like that. I was like, and
for what you knew,
but just seeing them play and seeing him have a couple bands and then I started playing drums with a couple friends. And they were like, you guys should just open, or whatever. And so then we would just play our friends' basements. But then I remember one time too, this other kid was like, oh, I want to play drums. And we sat there and played. And then I played guitar a little bit. And it was kind of a song. And I was like, can we just play this after we play? Like just play one song. And I was like, yeah, do whatever you want. They just do that where everyone's just messing around. So we were just like, played. It was like, it's like 4 minutes. Like, cool. And then we did that, and it was the only time that happened. Oh. But I still remember feeling like, oh yeah, I want to play guitar. Like that felt great. Yeah. Like the drums is really fun, but like when we played guitar and like sang some, like whatever, yelled into a microphone, I was like, oh no, this feels better for me. Like this is my, like I want to do this. Like this feels, I need to jump around a little bit. But having a bunch of people go, I don't care. Like, there's no rules, man. Just do whatever you want. You want to just scream into a microphone for an hour? Just put your name on the list. Like, no one cares. And half the people will probably stick around and go, dang, that's good to smoke weed to or whatever, Yeah,
exactly.
It's so funny. But then even in LA, like that happening, Chris and I just, neither one of us, like we were trying to tune our guitars and didn't know what we were doing. And then, a year later, like got a practice space, whatever. And then just knowing people, they were like, never heard anything and went, you guys playing a band? We should come open for us at Spaceland. just because you're friends.
Yeah.
You know, like
right.
no one cares.
Around. Yeah.
I want to hear it. Come
Yeah,
over. We'll put you on the list. We'll put you first. You played like a half an hour earlier or whatever to nobody, but, and then finding out like, oh, this is fun. And also like LA is not some big scary place. So you just like, there's so many places to play and so many people that were like so nice and ready to just be like, yeah, whatever. There's 10 people. It's lucky. You know, it's like you got at least 10.
Yeah.
You didn't drive them all out, you know. But it's such a great.
It's a low barrier of entry. Like you don't.
Well,
really
and also when he was talking about like music being, you know, the best art form, I wouldn't say best, but I would say like most inclusive, maybe. You know, like music is so inclusive of like you just have to like it or you just have to be into it. You know, you don't have to understand it. It's not like art where you have to go into a gallery and it's a little uncomfortable and you have to kind of feel smart sometimes. You know, you have to feel like, what's with the black cubes everywhere? I don't know. You know, I feel like I need to know something. But like, I think with music, it's such like a visceral experience that it's so, I mean, I wouldn't even be here without music because the only reason I even became a photographer and started shooting more is because I started shooting bands and I started shooting musicians. And then, you know, people were moving and then I went to Portland and then came to LA and ended up traveling all over the place, but only like 85% of it was because of I was following some band somewhere, you know?
It's incredible.
And yeah, it's amazing.
I wanted to ask you about Lila, about moving a child into college. I mean, how is that possible? Could you give an overview of it? Like what, I mean, I saw the photos and it just felt like, so I was just like, wow, that's like, I can't even imagine. Is there a crib notes to it for parents who maybe doesn't experiencing it in the future?
It doesn't feel real because she hasn't been gone long enough she's been gone at camp before longer, you know, like for 5 days. And now she's only been gone for 3. But this is definitely real of like moving her into a dorm and God. But the weird part about it for me was that it's like a month, you know, it's like a long preparation, but then the last month is like she's kind of getting ready and we're trying to figure all the finance stuff out and everything. And it doesn't really feel real because you're just like, it's like packing for the most insane trip ever. And you don't, and then she's packing, she doesn't know what she needs. And Michelle's taking time off to go shopping. You know, it's like to prep that week because it's going to be crazy. But then she also needs to go see all of her friends and they're all having like goodbye parties. Like they're never going to see each other again. And, you know, it's like it's a whole big kind of like cleansing of like, what is life going to be, whatever. And then the one day we're just like, well, I guess we're just packing the car and driving. And then we go. But then even then you're going into a dorm and there's like tens of thousands of people like around, everyone's moving in, all the kids and parents are yelling at each other. All the dads are in the corner putting together like the IKEA bookshelves or whatever, like in the front room. And then you're stepping over boxes and then everyone's like setting up their rooms and putting up posters and whatever. God. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I guess we're leaving. I guess we're leaving. It's weird. Yeah. So then we left. And then,
I could cry. It reminds me of that same feeling of bringing babies home from you're like, wait, totally. I'm just coming home with this baby. You're just going to let me bring this baby home. And like, wait, I just got to let this baby go. I'm just going to, college will take care of you. I can't do it.
Oh yeah. No, it's nuts.
It's wild.
I mean, it's impossible to think of from when your kids are young.
Yeah.
Because you can't think of them even walking around the block by themselves. Honestly, you know, but, but even at older, I'm like, you know, she drove with her friend to Orange County the other day to see to hang out with our friends and drove back by herself. And she drove to Westlake and went to the beach
independent
with her friends.
She knows how to do it. Yeah.
So there is a little bit like, well, yeah, she's driven around a little bit but you know, you're like, oh no, but this is like, you're now officially moved out.
Yeah, it's real.
Like you'll move back in, hopefully. Probably in the summer. I mean, who knows, unless you get a job somewhere or something, but yeah, it's wild. I was telling, like, the interesting thing is that how many people talk to me, like when we just posted on Facebook and Instagram, like how many people went, wait, no, who? Lila?
You mean your, people that your small daughter who's 8 years old forever and hasn't
oh my God, I remember
aged
her
a day
running around the gallery when she was 3.
Yeah.
But then other people that were just like, have just like friends of ours who've just had a little baby, like,
oh no, yeah,
like a 1-year-old or 2-year-old or even like a 6-month-old, and just going, you got to be kidding! Like, how are you doing it? I'm like, it's like it's a different type of animal. Like a baby and a 17-year-old, they're like two different. Like this is it might as well be a different species. Like you guys are in the place where you won't even leave that thing by, like, you won't even leave its side for a year.
Yeah.
Ever. You won't even go more than 2 rooms away from it for a year, like one of you,
Yeah.
And so emotionally but emotionally it's more of like, are you sure you can do this? It's more like that. But some of it's too like I want to know what's going on. Are you gonna still tell me, like, when you go to a show and tell me how is the band? How are your friends? Are you having fun? Like, I used to hear all the stories. I want to be involved. I think that's part of it, of like the, like, still wanting to be involved in everything. It's like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for texts now, or like call and be like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
be like, yeah, it's good. Yeah. Dad, I'm fine. Like, even so I'll tell you a funny story, because even yesterday she was having a tough time a little bit, like a little bit, like, I don't know, like people seem to make friends easy, and I don't know. And we're like, okay, we've been there for 24 hours. Like, I'm sure, you'll
need some
figure
time.
It out. Classes start tomorrow, which is crazy. But then, but she was having problems with the computer. Like, she couldn't log into her Apple ID or whatever, all that stuff. And so we were going through it on the phone, and she's like doing the phone, and then she goes back to her, like, to showing her face. So we're talking, and she's like doing her makeup. And I was like, wait, what do you focus on the thing? Like, we need to find your password and whatever. She's like, I know. It's fine. So she goes back, and then she's like, hey, yeah, hold on a second. Wait, no, I know. Yeah. And I'm like,
talking to friends, like, you're not.
Yeah. And I'm like, hold on. This is like your computer has to be ready to go tomorrow because you're in college. Like, you can't not have a computer. And we've been trying to figure this out for like an hour or whatever. And then she's like, yeah, no, it's good. And then we were kind of chatting a little bit. We got the computer thing fixed out. We're kind of chatting. She's kind of chatting. And then all of a sudden she's like in a hallway, and I'm like, where are you going? She's like, Dad, I only have a couple minutes. I got to go. I got to walk out. And she walks out, and we're kind of talking. And I'm like, say hi to the dog. And she's like, hi, Holly. Okay, Dad, seriously, I got to go. We're going to eat breakfast. Dad, all my friends are here. I have to go. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Wow.
Can I go to breakfast with you guys?
Save me some bacon.
Yeah. Maybe I'll drive down. We're already talking because her birthday's coming up, and we're like, do we go down there? Does she come here? Do we?
You do everything.
Is she going to be like, I kind of want to have a birthday with my friends? We'll see.
You could do that, but we're all going to be there too. You're still ours. Yeah. You still belong to us.
Yeah. Fortunately and unfortunately for you, San Diego is only 2 hours away. So.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds. It's a part of that adventure. There was a not to be cliche, but there was a great Modern Family episode I saw where, or a clip where they take the daughter to the thing, and it's that kind of, okay, love you, bye, you gotta go. And you're like, how's this supposed to work? I can't imagine. It's the pride and just that separation. But that's the job you wanted to. That's the hope you have. You raise a kid, you keep them alive. They're smart enough and put together enough to get accepted into a good college, and And off they go. That's the goal.
Totally.
But it doesn't make it any less
totally
heartbreaking and sad.
No.
But at the same time, yeah.
Well, and I was telling like a friend who I haven't talked to in a while, who just had a baby like a couple of years. Has like a 3-year-old, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't imagine." Like I was bawling when I dropped him off for daycare. Just like he's like, it's so tough being an emo dad, and I was like, yeah, and it's crazy because I'm so proud and I'm gutted, just like
hold those two feelings
with
equal weight at once.
Yeah, like you're just feeling like, oh, there's a line, there's like a before line and an after line, and we just like crossed the line.
Yep.
So it was the first line in a while, wow. Like the other lines would be, I don't know. I don't think there's really a line.
Getting driver's license, getting a phone, all these kinds of little things, nothing like this.
Yeah, you're like, okay, driving. Yeah, maybe high school, but even high school is like, they're still like little kids when they go to high school.
Yeah.
Like
ninth
graders. But yeah.
Well, I remember my dad,
dang.
Yeah. I remember my dad getting mad when I said I wanted to move out because I was going to school. I'm like, and like wanting to fight me or something. I'm just like, huh? This is why I'm moving out. This is the exact reason. I've been telling you for months I can't live here anymore. And I got accepted to a good college. I found a place to live. This was not a surprise to anybody. Like, and why? But just that kind of like, I just don't think he knew how to deal with his feelings, or he didn't know what to do. And so it was like, if we were mad at each other, then there was a reason I was leaving. Like he was kicking me out or something. I'm like, you're not kicking me out. I got accepted to a college. This is a normal thing. This is how life happens. And you don't know what emotions are. You have no mature ability to process your emotions and feel and say you're proud of me and say you love me and you're sad.
Yeah.
You don't know how to say all those things. So you're going to say, what, what, you think you're better than me? You think you're too good to live in this house? I'm like,
right. You're like,
I don't even know what that,
wait,
I don't know how to respond to any of that stuff. I'm leaving, Dad. Bye. And my mom was really sweet and really nice and, bought me, dishes.
And I can totally feel that feeling too. Cause even, whatever, if she wasn't going to college or whatever, but if she was like, had a job and she was like, I'm just going to live at home, I'd be like, great. Awesome.
No problem.
Yep. No problem.
Yep. Yeah.
That's fine. You pay some of the bills. That would be great. But other than that, I'm happy to have you here. And I do remember all of the times like when I went back after school and I lived at home for like a couple months to make some money to go. And I worked for my dad actually. It was like for 6 months, the only time I ever worked for my dad. Yeah. And then before I moved to Portland, and like I think back about that now and I'm like, oh, how weird. I had no idea. Like I had no, I was
what they're going through. Yeah.
Like,
the point of view.
My dad would be like, hey, do you want to grab a beer with the guys? And, he had a small construction company. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you want to have a beer with the guys? I'm like, Dad, I got stuff to do, man. I got to go. I got to drive to Pullman and play in a band with my friends and whatever it was.
Sure.
And I'm like, what an asshole. I could have just sat and had a beer with my dad. It was like it's kind of a dick move,
Yeah.
But whatever. It is.
That's the cycle. That's the cycle of life, right? Yeah. You see it go around.
Yeah.
Well, transitioning into Judgment Night soundtrack.
Oh my God.
This is one of the hardest things ever. Yeah, I was trying to look for a thing here. This kind of reminds me of the song "Freak Mama" by Mudhoney and Sir Mix-a-Lot, two of Seattle's luminary stars of the '90s.
Oh my God. I think that this is such a seminal record, and who did a great is Yasi.
Yasi? Yeah.
On her podcast.
Bandsplain?
I think it was years ago before it kind of hit the upper echelon of where she's at now, which I think it's a pretty big.
Is she big? Is that a big?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think it's a pretty big deal. Like she's real good.
Oh, incredible.
That's such a great podcast. Bandsplain. But I think they did a whole Judgment Night thing, and it was such a seminal, like weird, like even thinking of how it came about, you just go, there's nothing else like this. And it has nothing to do with the movie.
1993. Oh yeah.
It has nothing to do with the movie. is a movie soundtrack for a Dennis. Was it
Dennis Leary, John
Dennis
Leguizamo, Emilio Estevez?
Were they firefighters?
Oh.
What was the movie?
They were guys coming back from a basketball game, and their like car broke down, and they're like in the hood or something. You know,
right.
Survived one night in the gang-ridden city.
That's what it was. Yeah. Just like, and a movie, kind of a nothing movie, like a movie that
less than
that
nothing.
didn't really. Yeah. But it was like it was the perfect time. Like it was during Lollapalooza, kind of like that era where rap and rock were like happening, like where it was okay to listen to rap, you know, for rock, like, oh, this is cool. Like Ice Cube is kind of like a punk band a little bit.
Well, like alternative and hip hop were sort of this new, you know, post hair metal sort of. Now we're in the 90s. This is MTV sort of dubbed, you know, these new genres, sort of the next big thing. And would you put them together? Hold on, I have to tell you about the stars. It goes even deeper. Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Jeremy Piven, and Stephen Dorff stars a group of friends on the run from a gang of drug dealers led by Dennis Leary after they witness a murder.
Wait, the drug dealers are led by Dennis Leary?
Yeah, Dennis Leary is the leader of the drug dealers.
Oh my!
And they're trying to come after them.
It's amazing.
Yeah, they go in an RV to watch a professional boxing match in Chicago for the night. And as he exits the expressway, cuts down a residential neighborhood, then accidentally hits a man named Teddy. Inspecting him, they find that he's been shot in a paper bag filled with money. After taking him as a passenger to get him to the hospital, the RV is sideswiped by a car, leaving it lodged in a narrow alleyway. Three dangerous men drag Teddy into the street where he's executed by Fallon, a local crime lord whose money he stole. The gang then pursue the four men who witnessed the murder.
Oh my God, this movie was definitely written on cocaine.
Yeah,
like Dennis 100%. There's way too much going on.
Stephen Dorff, Emilio Estevez, and Cuba Gooding Jr. in 1992 making this movie.
Oh my God. But I do think that the Fallen Teenage Fan Club and De La Soul, it might be that there's that one I think is the one that still comes up that I'm like, this is such a good song. Like such a good song, but then also the Biohazard and Onyx. Like I loved Onyx back then because I think like I loved heavy music, and when that Onyx record came out and it was all just like slam and it was slam dancing and like whatever, and they were the greatest. And so when they did this with Biohazard, you're like, oh my God, yeah.
That was good.
Just need to make
I mean, that Helmet House of Pain, the first track, just another victim.
Good. Just another victim,
kid. Just another victim. I love that one. Helmet and House of Pain. I mean, come on.
What's the other?
Slayer, Ice-T, Disorder. Oh yeah, so bad. Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill.
But that just sounds like a Cypress Hill song.
Yeah. Coming real high, coming bomb high. It was bad.
Yeah.
But they would go on to headline Lollapalooza 1 year later in '94.
Sonic Youth and Cypress Hill. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, maybe they knew that already, and they're like, we should
do something.
Do a collab.
Yeah,
Cypress Hill is the only one that's on there twice because they did Pearl Jam too.
Yes, which is bad. Also,
just the real thing. Yeah,
that's not.
We
good.
Shouldn't have Pearl Jam on any hip hop stuff. I could see Sonic Youth. I could see Thurston Moore putting some guitars on some stuff.
Well, they had done the Ciccone Youth record. That was kind of a weird rap rock sort of thing, like Madonna style, you know.
Right.
Sort of songs. They were in just New York,
and he had done underground
New York.
He had done some stuff with Mike D before.
Sure, yeah,
like him, Mike D, and Beck on MTV. Yeah. Do you remember that one where they have the like circuit bent like?
Yeah,
and Mike D is just like.
Yeah. There was some remix culture happening there, but there was a great Arsineo Hall live version of Dinosaur Jr. and Della Funky Homosapien. Have you seen this clip?
No.
Oh, I'll have to send this to you. I should have sent it to you before.
Link it in the show notes.
But they're doing it. They do a live version of the song on Arsineo, and it's not good. Well, it's not, it's not terrible, but again, it's that song, but it sounds like a Dinosaur Jr. song with Del rapping on it, which would kind of almost be like Gorillaz,
right.
10 years later. There was sort of some, that style of sort of like psychedelic, sort of mid-tempo rock could, or kind of funky rock could mix with it. I mean, it happened, but this was pre, Limp Bizkit, Korn, Rage Against the Machine really being popular in those kind of ways, where there was this idea that like rap and rock were always going to be married. And there had been Run DMC before and Aerosmith, and there had been, things. This wasn't the first time this happened, but it was kind of one of those like awkward sort of like, oh, does this work? What about peanut butter and Nutella? Like that kind of works.
And bananas.
Yeah. And
lettuce.
And a lot of weed. No,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was cabbage? Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, it definitely was a sign of times to come without them know. I don't think they knew that. I think they were just, someone had the goofy idea to put all these bands together and it kind of worked.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just turned out like 10 years later that people went, like a lot of this stuff happened. I mean, even like Ice-T and Slayer, that's insane.
Yeah, kind of Body Count.
But Body Count was already around at this point, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he had done the thing with Perry Farrell,
mm-hmm.
like Don't Call Me Whitey or whatever.
Oh, right.
Which was I didn't know that was a cover song.
Yes.
Yeah, which was from the Sly and the Family Stone, maybe?
I think so.
Right? Yeah.
I think that sounds right. Again, I don't know. I don't want to be wrong about a song. Don't Call Me Whitey.
I'm gonna
be wrong.
But I'm only saying the first part of the song. that's only. I'm just referencing a cultural moment.
Yes, exactly.
But Ice-T, let's go. I want Ice-T and Slayer to
do a tour?
that song now. Just that song. It's a very timely anti-war song.
Yeah. Disorder. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely was an amazing. But Living Color, Run DMC. Why are we missing?
That was
one?
good too.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah,
because that had a lot of like scratching and stuff in it.
Yeah,
Living Color is great. I watched some footage of Living Color when we were talking about metal the other day. Oh, and I listened to. Were you the one that was saying you liked the fourth Bad Brains record?
Yes, the quickness.
Stuff?
Yeah.
I listened to that.
Like about metal crossover. What'd you think?
I listened to it. Yeah, it's great.
Quickness.
I mean, I still guitar tone, like the kind of like metal-y guitar. This is why I have, and again, being like 20 years behind in what I should be liking in some songs, or not understanding certain records. Tweez is from whatchamacallit? What's the album Tweez from oh my god.
Yes.
Why am I forgetting their
Spiderland or Slint.
Slint.
Yeah.
Slint. But if you listen to the Tweez records, to me the guitars sound so horrible. Because they're so high pitched, like, which is the whole point of I imagine that's why it's called Tweez, because they sound like Tweez. It's just like Tweez, But that I wanted like that record so much, and I can't. Like I have such a tough time listening to it. That even that, like when the metal guitars started getting like less and less bass and more treble, and they were all just like when you get the like kind of screechy, trebly guitars, I have a tough time. But
the quickness, the guitar tone is good, right?
Yeah, no, totally.
It's a form of metal. Yeah. It's a kind of a weird groove punk metal crossover.
It's a little bit like quicksand, like quicksandy kind of like groove, a little bit of a groove, but chunky, chunky groove.
Yeah, I'm kind of groove metal. I can kind of get into this thing. Yeah, but there is a controversial song on the record that has to at least be noted. If I'm promoting the quickness, there's a song, "Don't Blow Bubbles," which is considered to be a homophobic song. I think it's kind of in a vernacular or in a slang that I'm not familiar with, in kind of a Rasta thing, and so I'd heard about that. So I think in recommending these records and artifacts of it was 1989. And Bad Brains has sort of across the board been, there's an asterisk next to the name, which is hard, but they're on record as being a homophobic band, which is unfortunate. However, there's a lot of songs, and again, in this sort of world of separating the artist from the art, or if you can or can't, I think it's perfectly fine to write Bad Brains off if that's, a deal breaker for you. But I think they made incredible music for a lot of time, and I think held some very ignorant beliefs that were part of a culture that they were part of, in a time and a place, and all, but I want to at least note it. I wouldn't want to tell everybody
Sure.
without comment. Bad Brains, The Quickness, great record. But there's again, in terms of, I didn't know that at the time. I didn't even understand the lyrics. I don't think I understand most lyrics from Bad Brain songs outside of the things that are very direct. But it was, but the tone, I don't know. It's one of those guilty pleasures for me if I think about metal, or like what kind of metal music I like. Do you know the band Sick of It All?
I know of them, but I never listened to them.
Oh man, Scratch the Surface is, again, I guess this might just be like New York hardcore, which kind of comes at a time of crossover, that early 90s, kind of punk, post 80s into the 90s. So there was an infusion of sort of punk and hardcore, or like metal into punk world. But there's something about that band too. I saw them play live at Board in South Bay, which was like a pre-Warped Tour thing. And I was like, this band's awesome. And again, it's one of those things on a late night on tour somewhere, 1 a.m., driving outside of a city, Sick of It All. I'm like, ooh, that's good. I like that guitar tone. I like those riffs. Those are good. And I think the singer just passed away also. So
right.
Shout out to Sick of It All. And I don't know. I think they're great.
I just only know of those bands because of the friends that I made in LA who grew up on the East Coast and like grew up going sort of to those shows thing. And playing with those bands.
Oh my God.
90s. And yes.
Yeah. Metal in general. Crossover. It's hard. Yeah. But that crossover kind of thing. I'm like, okay, if I have to like pick, but that's sort of where my brain first goes, I think, to some kind of metal things. I'm like, oh, that sounds good. But then I go to, something like Queensryche. I'm like, there's none of that chuggy, like chunky punk, like fast riffs.
It's way closer to Judas Priest or like, or like English. It's like they're way closer to English metal.
Iron Maiden or so. Yeah, it's a whole different level of metal that is.
Bring your daughter to the slaughter.
a soprano singer who could hit all the high notes and these kind of things. Yeah. So the metal is a various genre. I think that's kind of what started this whole thing, right? Got to listen to more metal.
Metal Mondays.
Metal Mondays. There we go. New Metal Mondays. Can we get a new metal next?
New metal. Oh, I mean,
New Metal Mondays. We got to learn things. I want to learn about things. I don't want to learn about whatever's popular on TikTok. I want to figure out where did metal go wrong? Where did this all?
I mean, Fred Durst is bigger than ever right now, as we heard from your previous interview last week.
We have to make a shirt that says that.
Fred Durst bigger than ever, and he's just huge. Bigger than ever. It's just the Godzilla? Earth with a red hat on.
Oh no!
I mean, how is it that he did the red hat and then also Trump? I'm just saying.
Hey, is it coincidence? Who knows?
Coinky dink,
or conspiracy. All right, we've gone way over an hour. Yeah. This was amazing, but I'm glad we got to talk about Lila. I saw the photos and I started crying. I'm like,
I know it's a tough one.
I can't. Yeah, I think as so many parents, anybody listening to this with kids, who we're in a funny age though. The 40s and the 50s, you have friends who are just having babies. Yeah, and friends who have babies going to college, moving out of the house, graduating college, having their own kids. It can become it's very easy to become a grandparent in your 50s.
Yeah. And I have 3 friends who have had babies within the last year.
Yeah. That's where the drop-offs get funny. It's like, do you have a kindergartner? Yeah. Yes, and I have 2 kids in college.
I also still skateboard, so let's just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I just had a hip replacement. So this is everything. We're allowed to do everything. We're the generation that can never has to give up.
I have a kid in my one of my 6th grade classes who just told me his dad just turned 30 the other day. Yeah. And I was like, 30.
I could be your dad's dad. I could be your grandfather.
Yeah. I mean, legitimately, I would have been 22. Yeah. That's very funny. I'm like, all right, that
sounds good.
Noted. That sounds old.
Your dad was born in the 90s? Is that what you're telling me?
My dad's old. He just turned 30.
Yeah.
Like, oof.
My dad was born after 9/11.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. And you're the kid? You're not the kid. You weren't born. Oh, you're okay. All right. Yeah. Wow. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just keep that to ourselves.
Real good. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at some Cezanne paintings. These were made this was 100 years ago.
1 million years ago. Just like when I was born.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, awesome. This was fun. Good stuff. Yeah. More interviews coming up next week. Tune in next Thursday for another interview show. It'll be good. ? You can write us hyphenatehalftime@gmail.com and find Aaron Farley at Aaron Farley on Instagram. I'm at Randy S. Randall, and like and rate, review this show.
If like you got, and subscribe.
There you go. Right. Yeah. If you're already listening, if you made it this far past an hour, you must like it. So please.
You've had a long drive.
You've had a long time to turn this off. You could have turned this off a long time ago if you're still listening to this. So make sure you leave us a review. Let us know that you like it. Let us know you're out there. I think it helps all the algorithms and the computer boss overlords lets them know that this is a good thing and they should recommend it to other people. And then, there's more weirdos like us out there. Let's make sure they all know how weird we are over here.
And if you've fallen asleep, send Hyphenate halftime money. Send Hyphenate halftime some money.
Subliminal messages.
No. You are sleeping. You are opening your checkbook. Okay.
Yeah. I love it. What that reminds me of that sample. You are sleeping. You are not meant to. Is it a Smiths song?
Oh my God.
I got to find that.
That's another band.
I'll find it. The Smiths.
Really? Band you
don't like or you don't know? Or both? You don't like it and you don't know it?
I like them. I do not like Morrissey.
Okay,
I'm not a fan of Morrissey. I did get to shoot photos of Johnny Marr, and then
he's probably an awesome guy.
He was great, and then got to see him play at the Santa Barbara Bowl.
Solo or with Modest Mouse? Okay.
No,
the Johnny
just
Marr
solo.
Show. He probably does a lot of Smith songs, I bet.
He played all the hits.
Yep.
And they sounded perfect, even with his singing. But with his singing, and I'm like, don't need Morrissey. You do not need Morrissey for the Smiths. Johnny Marr wrote all the songs.
You can hold it down.
Just they're Johnny Marr songs to me.
Yeah.
I don't like Morrissey.
Sure. Yeah. No, Morrissey. I don't understand Morrissey.
I don't understand him at all.
Yeah.
Speaking of problematic.
Right.
And then
asterisks to include with music or separate the art from the artist.
Person. And anybody that Robert Smith hates, I also hate. So let's just go there.
Yeah. But those Smith songs are pretty great. I guess, Louder Than Bombs is that kind of collection of singles. And that was the first thing I got on tape in junior high. Yeah. But right around the same time, I got like the Blue Album by Weezer. I also got Louder Than Bombs, which is just, and great photography, like the design of all those albums and singles. It's all this still frame, it's not their photography, but it's use of appropriation of all these great, photographs.
Yeah, their design and everything of all of the posters and everything are insane.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
But I don't get, I'm also not, I wasn't, I don't know. I don't think I'm dark enough. I like the songs. I like the songs more now.
Yeah.
Like when I first heard them, like they got played for me and I was like,
it's a tough one to onboard. If you made it this far in life without having the soft part of your bruised heart poked by a Smith song in your 20s,
is going to kill all of us. Wait, what is it?
A double-decker bus crashes into us to die by your side. The pain and the pleasure is mine.
Yeah, I'm like,
and if a
I don't know.
10-ton truck kills the both of us.
Yeah, I don't have those thoughts in my mind. I'm not trying to die beside anybody.
They're one of those bands, along with Pavement, where I know every single lyric of of all the big songs. Wow. Like when they come on, I'm like, oh, my brain remembered all of this. I feel like I will be deep into senility and dementia, and a Pavement song or a Smith song will come on and I will know every single lyric. It's like I don't even think about it. It's been decades, but as soon as it comes on, I'm like, it's like a Manchurian Candidate. I know all of these lyrics. How do I know?
I will now
recite all of these lyrics of all of these songs that I learned when I was a teenager. I just think they just rooted into my brain in dark, weird place. But the song that always got me was that, but the titles, I won't remember the titles of the songs, but I'll know all the lyrics and I know all the melodies, but it's like that face blindness kind of thing. I'm like, I know everything about your face. I know who you are. I cannot tell you what your name is. But they also have inscrutable names that aren't necessarily repeated in the verse or in like the choruses. So it's sort of like, okay, how am I supposed to know that's the name of the song? You know, how soon is now? You never say how soon is now or how, well, you know, or whatever these things are.
I'm the same. I don't even know Led Zeppelin songs that I listened to 7 billion times. And I'm like, I don't know. I know what record they're on. I don't know the name of the song. I can't be bothered. Listen.
Tangerine.
Yeah. I can't be bothered, guys. I can't be bothered with this. I know Black Dog. That's it.
Yeah, the immigrant song doesn't say this is the immigrant song. They come from the land of ice and snow. This is the immigrant song, you know.
This is the immigrant song. Now we're marching down the snow.
All right, there we go. We'll end it there. All right.